Khan, hey, Shalom, Shalom, Akiyam. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Recha, Kodash. I would also like to give a double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. I would also like to say peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, starting with the 144,000 men of Israel, which consists of the servants, the prophets, whom have been ordained since the foundations of this earth to sing this new song, which comes in the form of this gospel, which would be preached throughout all four corners of this earth and rest upon the ears of the innumerable multitude, men, women, and children of Israel, who may be scattered throughout all four corners of this earth. Shalom. Hey, shalom, beloved Akiam and Akwath. It's just Bayan back again through the spirit, power, mercy, and grace of our power, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. And I just wanted to tap into a very brief live stream. Unfortunately, I don't have much time, but Lord willing, we can get straight to the point. And Lord willing, the message gets across. But needless to say, what I wanted to do was tap into this clip. Excuse me, Salakia. I wanted to tap into this clip that Elder Yashawamba played on one of his latest Prophecy Watch videos involving Candace Owens and this individual. I'm not sure who he was. You know, he looks like an Edomite from face value. Based off his spirit, you know, he's, in my honest opinion, I speak as a man, I think he's an Edomite. But needless to say, you know, they were speaking on IQ, okay, which IQ goes into intelligence quotient, which when you tap into that, right, it taps into tests, you know, to pretty much hone in on one's reasoning, you know. And when you look at Esau, to show you how much of a hypocrite this dude is, right? When you look at Esau and the way that he's ruled, okay, from the Greeks till now, in the process, all right, of events that took place on the world stage, from, you know, his industrial revolution specifically is what I'm speaking to, and how the earth has continuously, slowly but surely, has dissolved, okay, and has becoming weaker and weaker. The mindsets of the people has become more and more low level, all right, and beast-like, all right. This dude Esau is something else, bro, all right. He does not have the level of intelligence that he stands up before the world and claims and boasts and acts as if he has. All right. This is a very low level, base individual. All right. And they're quick. All right. I titled it Character Assassination. We're going to get into that. They're quick to slander us because they already know who we are. All right. They already know who us so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are, bro. They already know, the global elite. All right, trickling on down to their tentacles that they utilize to sow wickedness, deception, and pseudoscience. All right. This is why Jake is on the front page of any form of wickedness, man. You know, Jake is the face of terror. Jake is the face of, you know, a deadbeat dad. Jake is the face of, you know, a drug dealer. Jake is the face of, you know, rapist, whatever you want to call it, anything negative. Jake is the face of it. Esau's done dressed it up like that. But here it is, when you tap into his history, okay, it testifies against him. They like to always bring up their founding fathers, but here it is, their founding fathers was committing cannibalism, okay, the rape, robbery, all right, colonization, treachery, man, okay. So they really don't got much to say, but through the spirit, we're going to tap into it real quick. Now, what I wanted to do, right, and I'm going to play that clip, all right, because what's heavy, right, is that this Edomite standing up there, sitting up there with Candace Owens. And I mean, Candace Owens, you know, I don't really got much to say about her. But needless to say, I can care less about her. But what I'm saying, what happens at this little back and forth they had, they were just breaking bread on IQ or whatever, and his opinion on if IQ can be enhanced from generation from generation. Now he's going to say something. He's going to put his own foot in his mouth. And that's the thing with Esau. Esau is so stupid. I'm sorry, forgive me. Esau, and he thinks he's so smart. He's stupid. Okay, and what he's going to do, he's going to put Candace Owens is going to snare him in his own speech. And it's beautiful. I caught it when I was watching the lesson from the brother, from the elder. Candace Owens is going to snare this dude. Okay? And it's heavy. We're going to get it. But before we do, let's get this real quick. Let's get, bear with me, Yaki Amanakwa. Let's start with a precept, because I want to get into a few things real quick. Let me see something real quick. This is the book of Ecclesiastic. It's also known as the book of Sirach. All right, chapter 19 and verse 23, and it reads this. There is a wickedness and the same an abomination, bro. Okay? And we know Esau is wicked and he's an abomination to the Lord. All right? He can't do good. Not even if he tried. All right? Check this out. And there is a fool wanting wisdom, bro. All right? We know Esau, the scriptures tell us the heart of every one of them. Let me get this real quick. It's deep. Bear with me. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 64. And I was thinking that too. I'm going to start at verse 5. It reads this. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. And this is starting with the global elite. But it trickles on down to the rest of these regular Joe six-pack Edomites, man. This is how they're wired. But listen to this. Psalm 64 and 5. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune and lay in snares privily, man. All right? They're always trying to lay a trap secretly. All right? And they were able to do it for a long time. See, this pseudoscience they were able to push for centuries, man. All right, it's now waning. The world is now realizing that Esau is not all that. All right, Esau is not all that. And under his governance, okay, the earth is in a disarray. Bear with me. And now he's being looked at as a foolish ruler, which he is. He's a very foolish dude. Right? Look at Psalm 64 and 6. They encourage themselves in the evil matter. They commune and lay snares privily. They say, who shall see them? And that's wicked. All right? Because they're trying to hide. They've been trying to hide their counsel since the beginning, the elite. But scripture says, woe to you that try to hide your counsel from the Lord, man. He can see you, man. There's no hiding from the Lord, man. He's making you do what you're doing. But anyways, check this out. They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Right? The scriptures say they're wiser than Daniel. The Lord's allowed them to have access to technology in the form of quantum computers and Palantir, colliders. The Lord's allowed them to tap into things, man. So now they think that they're the head of they're the head of the pack. But that couldn't be the furthest thing from the truth. Because look what they did with the little bit of wisdom that the Lord gave them. They exercise wickedness, man. And the wisdom and the scriptures say the knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom, bro. Roughly paraphrasing. All right, and they've exercised a little bit of wisdom that the Lord gave them in wickedness, bro. Showing you how foolish this dude is, bro. And on top of that, he don't fear the Lord. All right, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, as it tells us in Sirach, the first chapter. Let's continue on. Psalm 64 and 6, they search out iniquities, bro. They search out wickedness, man. Look at, they accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep, bro. Okay, the heart is deep. So these niggas are always looking into something, man. All right, Evil E's always looking into something. And what he's done is he studied Jake. He studied us. Okay, he knows how to tap into things to make us go off. From music to food to environments, bro. Okay? Esau is a mad scientist, bro. He's figured out a way to keep us in transgression. But unbeknownst to him, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua sent the Holy Spirit, which pretty much pulled the okie doke on him. And now through the Spirit, he's being exposed. Exactly how prophecy said it would play out. You see? So let's get this real quick. So when you get character assassination, right? Because this is what he's had to do in efforts to hide himself. He had to assassinate Jake's character, bro. Right? Look at character assassination is a deliberate, sustained, and often public effort to destroy an individual's reputation, credibility, and standing in the community, bro. And he did this to us. What does scripture say? He slandered his own mother's son. As a matter of fact, when you tap into slander, and as you keep going through similar words, it will lead you to character assassination, bro. Through the Spirit, that's how I found it. You see? And as a matter of fact, I want to get that precept. But before I do, let's play this video real quick. Matter of fact, let me go get that real quick. Let the Spirit ride. Let's go get it. The book of Psalms, chapter 50. I'm going to start at verse 16 and then jump down to the point, right? And it reads, but unto the wicked, Malachi 1:4, the wicked is Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, woman, and child, man. All right? But unto the wicked, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? Yeah, we've seen what Esau has done. He's taken the Bible, weaponized it. All right? He added it. He's taken away from the Bible. You know, back during the time of chattel slavery. All right, he gave Jake on them plantations, because there were churches on the plantations. Look it up. All right, for you so-called Negroes that think that you're doing something profitable. All right, by being a damn Christian via one of these denominations of the modern sense of the word. All right, all you're doing is joining yourself to the Renaissance form of Christianity that Esau has used to weaponize against you since the beginning. All right. So he's taken away from the Bible, but he would weaponize. He had a slave Bible. All right, where he utilized it to keep you Jakes under the trance of Stockholm syndrome, man. Okay, because he knows where a people of the spirit. You see, he knows that we believe. He knows that we have the higher power. He knows that we're spiritually tapped in. You see, Esau knows our blessing. We have spiritual capabilities, bro. See, Esau has been blessed with the sword. All right, there's a great gulf fixed between Jacob and Esau, man. See, Esau's been blessed with the carnality. We've been blessed with the spiritual assets. Okay? And he knows that. So he tried to weaponize it. He tried to weaponize our spiritual inclination, bro. But it worked for a while because the Lord allowed it to work. Okay? But now, hey, we've been woken up. You okay? And some of this nigga's most advanced witches and wizards and warlocks are telling him that. You know? And that's how he knows he has but a short time left. But anyway, let's continue on. Psalms 50 and 16, but unto the wicked power saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? Right? Right, he hijacked our heritage, bro. You know, he's claiming to be us in our land. But as you can see, he's dropping the ball miserably. All right, because there's war throughout the land, wickedness, perversion, they're circumcising babies with their mouths. All types of madness going on, humping walls, craziness. Anyway, let's continue on. Jumping down to verse 20. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. See how much of a hypocrite he is? Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thine own mother's son. Okay, and what's so heavy? When you get this word slander, what you're going to find out is that it goes into what? Defamation. All right? Defamation. Look at slander. The action or crime of making a false spoken statement, damaging to a person's reputation. And that's exactly what this dude's about to do. And they've been doing it. They labeled Jake 3/5 of a man. They've done all types of wickedness, bro. Lying. And they stand on the foundation of pseudoscience to justify what they're saying. Okay? Check this out. Similar word. Defamation of character. I'm sorry, defamation, it says. Oh, and another similar word, I was telling you, brothers and sisters, how I got that title. Character assassination is another definition or similar word, right, of slander. You see that? And Esau's guilty of this, bro. Okay? Because again, when you look at it from a, when you go back in time and tap into different empires and rulerships, all right, this empire right here, the daughter of Babylon, the revival of the Western Roman Empire that fell, this is the most polluted, diabolical, perverted, sexually immoral, decrepit, flimsy, okay, empire ever created. Now it's strong in the sense of what? Technology. The technology he's standing on. You know, the technological advancements, you know, they've been able to make. But look at the earth. All right, the earth wasn't as polluted as it is now back in the time of, say, the Babylonians. And fuck the heathen. What I really want to tap into is the reality of the time of Solomon, okay, which was Yahweh Shai, if you can receive it, and not 40 years of peace, bro. That 40 years of peace came under who? The Israelites, man. The Hebrew Israelites, bro. Our so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, showing you where the wisdom truly lies. Okay, and it tells you that in the Apocrypha, bro. Wisdom dwells in Jerusalem, in Israel, man. That's where her tabernacle's at. All right, and again, that right there, that historical point, proves that what? We're more wise than this dude. That 40 years of peace, man. There hasn't. Esau's been at war 95% of the time since he's been in power. There's statistics on that. Okay, we're not tripping. You can look that up. There's statistics on that. Okay, because he's the man of death, the man of sin. He's likened unto death and hell. He's the wicked. Okay, he's real stupid, believe it or not. All right, as smart as he thinks he is, he's stupid. But anyways, check this out, and this is gonna prove it. Check this out real quick. Candace Owens snared this dude, and it was easy. She's just looking at him, like I know. Like, she was looking at him like, I know you're gonna answer the way I'm thinking, because Esau's so proud, bro. He's just like he's in a fucking delusion, you know. Let's go. Bear with me. I time stamped it. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Again, this is from Elder Yashawamba, his prophecy watch, his latest prophecy watch, when he was going into IQ, right? Which again, we already know IQ is something that they've utilized to assassinate Jake's character, you know? But check it out.
Pseudoscience runs the world we live in. Okay?
It doesn't change wildly. It only changes genetically over. IQ is a big one, and that's a genetic trait. And so
the cards that you're dealt with, and you can't change it over time.
Something like IQ does not change. Doesn't change wildly. It only changes genetically over. IQ is a big one, and that's a genetic trait. And so that can change over the generations, but not, you can't take an individual that's 75 IQ, which is the average in West Africa, and take them to 100. So,
and Nigerians have higher.
And look at this guy. Now, if you take this suit off him, all right, don't allow him to gain access to a razor blade. Okay? And you're gonna see what's gonna happen within days, bro, of this diabolical dude. You know? This is what they do. They throw on a 3-piece suit. All right. They throw on Nimrod's rod, right, in the form of that tie. You know, because they worship the penis just like the Canaanites did. You know, Esau be tapping in to Egypt and them, right? They throw all this they throw all this you know, they throw a character on, they put on a character, and they start using these, you know, $1 million words, and they start hitting you with that Edomite, you know, that Edomite talk, and now here it is, they're the end all be all, you know, they're the end all be all now. Nah, man. According to how things have turned out so far since you've been ruling, this place is a mess. Okay, starting with the West. Look at the nucleus family under Esau's governance, man. Okay, get out of here, man. But anyways, let's go.
You scores over here than you Americans. But see, this is the devil, man. This is the devil, man.
Two dumb people can't produce a smart person.
I believe they can actually,
Yeah.
but
So does that kind of debunk your?
no, because it's rare that happens. But IQ is a heritable trait, so it's unlikely that happens.
Okay.
No, that right there,
This is
that
an
right
adult.
there, that's what caught my attention. And you got to look at Candace Owens. Look how she asks him, because she knew what she was doing. All right, she was being very, very cunning. Okay, because look at this dude. He's talking 1,000,000 miles an hour. He's dancing all up in the seats, probably coked out. You know, Esau loves to get coked out. You know, especially these so-called, you know, well-to-do. You know what I mean? And she's just looking at him like, this nigga's stupid. You know what I mean? His logic is not his. Now listen to what she asks him. Now he's standing on. Listen to what he says, and then listen to her question, and then listen to his response.
25 IQ, which is the wildly. IQ is a big one.
The world we live in. Okay?
It doesn't change wildly. It only changes genetically over. IQ is a big one, and that's a genetic trait. And so
The cards that you're dealt with, and you can't change that over time.
something like IQ does not change. Doesn't change wildly. It only changes genetically over. IQ is a big one, and that's a genetic trait. And so that can change over the generations, but you can't take an individual that's 75 IQ, which is the average in West Africa, and take them to 100. So
And Nigerians have higher IQ scores over here than you Americans. But see, this is the devil, man. This is the devil, man.
Two dumb people can't produce a smart person.
I believe they can actually,
Yeah.
but
So does that kind of debunk your?
no, because it's rare that happens. But IQ is a heritable trait, so it's unlikely that happens.
Complete contradiction. He completely contradicted himself, and that's what Esau does. That's part of his. See, that's that word salad and that the witchcraft. You see him? It's either this. That's why Scripture says, "Let your yea be yea and your nay be nay." That's wicked. How you see the deception he's moving in. I'm gonna play it one more time. Now, granted, the brother interjects, so hold on to the talking point. All right, between those two.
Word is pseudos. Pseudoscience runs the world we live in. Okay?
It doesn't change wildly. It only changes genetically over. IQ is a big one, and that's a genetic trait. And so
The cards that you're dealt with, and you can't change that over time.
something like IQ does not change. Doesn't change wildly.
Yeah, you heard what he just said. That he's standing on genetics, and there, and his philosophy, right? He's thinking that genetically they're superior, and they're utilizing an IQ. They're standing on the IQ foundation. That's what supposedly they're superior because of their IQ, supposedly. Okay, but if they were that superior again, the world wouldn't be in the position that it's in right now, bro. The earth wouldn't be polluted. Why they spraying chemtrails? Where's the wisdom in that? Okay, look at the situation that we're all in. Look at the earth. You're eating seedless fruit and shit, bro. Synthetic meats. Okay, they don't have no cure for no disease. I'm not even gonna get into that because they'll hit me with a medical misinformation. So let's leave that right there. But you Waki Amanakwath already know. Okay? They have you they're pushing Asclepius, which is the Greek god of medicine, right? But all that is, again, it's all to just keep you in the downward spiral, bro. You know?
It only changes genetic one, and that's a genetic trait. And so
the cards that you're dealt with and you can't change it over time.
I'm bringing that
The
back.
Greek word is pseudos. Pseudoscience runs the world we live in. Okay?
it doesn't change wildly. It only changes genetically over. IQ is a big one, and that's a genetic trait. And so
Look at this dude.
The cards that you're dealt with and you can't change it over time.
something like IQ does not change. It doesn't change wildly. It only changes genetically over. IQ is a big one, and that's a genetic trait. And so that can change over the generations, but you can't take an individual that's 75 IQ, which is the average in West Africa, and take them to 100. So
And Nigerians have higher IQ scores over here than you Americans. But see, this is the devil, man. This is the devil, man.
Two dumb people can't produce a smart person.
I believe they can actually,
Yeah.
but
So does that kind of debunk your?
no, because it's rare that happens. But IQ is a heritable trait, so it's unlikely that happens.
Okay.
See how he's dancing around? And again, you can you blame these individuals, like these self-proclaimed anthropologists, like what are their name? Franz Boas, right? Melvin Herskovich, guys like them, and the brother brings them up often as well. All right, these individuals have created narratives through their so-called anthropology, with the study of the skull, and their brain is this big, and they have this type of mental capacity. Just making things up, But here it is, when you tap into the nuts and bolts of the reality of the situation, you clearly see throughout all the course of all the Esau's empires, it was all through. If you see what was going on in Rome, oh my goodness, man, you can tap into it. Tap into their sewage system and how they were getting no wisdom. No wisdom, bro. But they'll tell you, all right, that the guys, I'm sorry, forgive me, Aki Amanakwa, I'm getting upset because these Edomites they're so annoying, bro. The pride in these people, bro. All right, you have them. They'll say the so-called Native American, right, which is God, right there. So the coin is so-called Native American, North American Indians. Reuben. We were over here. All right, but you tell them, if you ask them, they'll tell you that they came over here and the guy was doing it all wrong. But here it is. When they came over here, there was gold everywhere. Okay? Just life flourishing, bro. You could literally drink out of a stream. Okay? Because the environment was self-preserved, bro. Self-detoxifying. You could have a water well in the back of the house. Because the earth wasn't polluted with the sewage system that this dude concocted. Okay? You're an idiot, Esau. All right? As much as you think you're a smart guy, you're the stupidest thing going. All right? Now, real quick. I wanted to get this real quick because it came to mind earlier. I had made the mention. I want to make sure I quoted that right. Khan, I did quote that right. I was in that chapter. That's the spirit. The book of Ecclesiastes, also known as the book of Sirach, chapter 19 and verse 22. And it reads, the knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom, bro. All right? And Esau's operated under the knowledge of wickedness the whole time. All right, that's why when you go to the Maccabees, it tells you that the evils will increase on the earth. all right, upon Alexander the Greek dividing his kingdom amongst his 4 generals, bro, and then putting crowns on their heads. Those were all Edomites, man. Okay, Cassandra, Seleucid, Ptolemy, and Lasamicus, all Edomites. And what were the Ptolemies and the Seleucids doing? Warring like crazy, bro. You had 6 Syrian wars, man. They niggas wouldn't stop. They were poisoning each other, killing each other, killing their own brother for the, you know what I mean? Just wilding, man. You know, wives poisoning their husbands, and, you know, he's trying to make an alliance with them. Just all types of crazy shit was going on with Esau, man. And the scriptures highlight Esau and that type of treachery and betrayal he exercises, man. The scriptures say, "Set him not by thee, lest he overthrow thee," man. Okay? And his history testifies again. You can tap into his history. This is how the nigga moves. Okay? He's a stupid dude. Here's the point that I'm making right now. Look at the Ecclesiasticus, the book of Sirach. Ecclesiasticus, also known as the book of Sirach, chapter 19 and verse 22. The knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom. Neither at any time the counsel of sin is prudence, man. Let's go here. Let me get this real quick. Let's go to the book of, is that Proverbs 26? Khan. All right, because she snared this dummy, as you've seen. Right? He contradicted himself. She said, so doesn't that pretty much debunk? She asked him a question. Okay, regarding, can 2 stupid people bring forth a smart person? He said, yes, he thinks they can. But he was just saying genetically it's not. Esau's an idiot. Okay, look at Proverbs 26 and 5. He's so smart. In his mind, he's so smart. He's stupid. Esau's so smart. And it goes into, it's a pride, bro. See? The pride. He's deceived. Esau is completely playing himself. All right? And he's sick. Look at Proverbs 26 and 5. Answer a fool according to his folly, lest he be wise in his own conceit, bro. Okay? Candace Owens snared this dummy. Okay? And he's sitting up there. You seen his face? He realized he answered that off. He was like, it's just not likely and not possible. And Esau does all his little shit. All right? Esau, man, you out of here, bro. You are not him. All right? You are not that dude. You are not smart. And as a matter of fact, when you go back in time, let's go here real quick. When Jacob and Esau were born, let's go get this real quick. I got to close out the Akiaminakwa Salakia. There's the book of Genesis chapter 25. I'm going to go straight to the point in verse 23. And it reads, and the Lord Yahweh said unto her, talking to Rebekah, because she went to inquire of the Lord, because Jacob and Esau were warring in her womb. They were fighting. Right? And the Lord Yahweh said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger, bro. All right, and as we know, and when the days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb, and they weren't identical. All right, Esau is our fraternal twin brother. Okay, our demonic, diabolical, evil, wicked, fraternal twin brother. Look, and the first came out red all over. All right, like a hairy garment. He wasn't hairy. He was like a hairy garment. They would dye garments red back then. All right, but he came out red all over though. Like those hairy garments, he was red because he was what? A clean leper. Look at, and they called his name Isashwa, Esau. Wasted away is he. All right, he came out first. Didn't the scripture just say one should be stronger than the other, right? And the elder shall serve the younger. You see that? And this is where this thing is climaxing to. All right, the transition of eons, man. All right, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. This is what's happening. This is the transition that's about to happen. That's what's about to fall upon Esau, and he knows it. Okay, and he's fighting and striving and scratching and clawing to keep himself in the position where he's over Jake. But it's not working out for him. It's not panning out. All his lies, all right, all his deception, all of his treachery is coming back to haunt him now. Okay, the crows are coming home to roost, man. All right, as they say. All right, the tables are turning on him, bro. And this is why we're witnessing things like this, man. Through the spirit. Let me play it one more time and I'm closing out. Check it out. Candace Owens looked at him like, so can two stupid people, and she's looking at him with a side look like, this nigga's about to answer off. This nigga's about to say, yeah, he's a dummy. You can see she read him out. Check it out.
Take an individual that's 75 IQ, which
Listen
is
to
the
him. You think
average.
he's so smart?
Wildly. It only changes genetically over. IQ is a big one, and that changes. That's a genetic trait, and so that can change over the generations, but not. You can't take an individual that's 75.
Got him. Hold on.
It doesn't change wildly. It only changes genetically over. IQ is a big one, and that changes. That's a genetic trait, and so that can change over the generations, but not. You can't take an individual
He's
that's
like,
75
nigga.
IQ, which is the average in West Africa, and take them to 100. So.
And Nigerians have higher IQ scores over here than you Americans.
Now again, remember, IQ goes into what? Intelligence quotient, which goes into pretty much measuring one's reasoning. Now the question she's about to ask him, he should have been able to reason with what he's standing on right now to make the correct answer, but showing you that she got a high IQ to him. Listen, watch.
But see, this is the devil, man. This is the devil, man.
Two dumb people can't produce a smart person.
Look at it. She's looking at him.
I believe they can actually.
Yeah.
Look at it.
But
So does that kind of debunk your?
She knew she got him.
because it's rare that happens.
She
But
knew she got him.
heritable.
Look at her.
Two dumb people can't produce a smart
Look
person.
at her. She's looking at her.
I
Look at her.
believe
Look at
they
her.
can actually.
Yeah.
But
She's like,
So does that kind of
dummy.
debunk your?
No,
Did
because
that-
it's rare
look at
that
him, look at
happens.
him.
But IQ is a heritable.
She
trait,
got
so
him.
it's unlikely.
And I don't even care for Candace Owens like that. But when I seen that through the spirit, I caught that. I'm like, wait a minute. Brought it back. I'm like, whoa, she got him. And she knew she was snaring him too. She was looking at him. She was like, so can two dumb people? She knew what she was doing. She was setting them up. And Esau so proud. Man, but I got one more scripture. And we outie. I'm already running hella behind, but it's all good. It is what it is. All right? Man. This is beautiful, bro. Esau's looking like a fool, man, out here. All this pride, man. And we know where pride leads you. There's the book of Proverbs, chapter 16 and verse 18, and it reads, pride goeth before destruction. Okay? And a haughty spirit before a fall, man. Yeah, man. Lord willing, you beloved Akim and Akwath will edify. A Abaratas that you were spiritually fed through the spirit, power, mercy, and grace of our power, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Esau is through Akim and Akwath. Esau is through. Okay? He's looking so stupid out here. All right? And through the spirit, the Wadi Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai for the spirit, we can see through him like a looking glass, man. We can see right through him. The Lord got him, man. The Lord got him. We're in the Esau's being pulled on down. He's on his way out of here, Akiyam and Akwa. You see it. We see it. We know it. It's a wrap for this guy, man. He's a finished fucking situation, bro. He's done. Okay? Hey, Lord willing, you beloved Akiyam and Akwa will edify, man. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakha Kwadash. A double honors to the beloved elders and apostles, a great millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. A Lord willing, you beloved Akiyam and Akwath will edify. A till next time, beloved Akiyam and Akwath. A till next time. Lord willing, we'll be out there this evening, midweek camp, Lord willing.